Alright, I'm back with CC because he's the only fucking flat earth YouTuber I can fucking find. Um, because why not? Debunking his video got me a lot of fucking impressions. So why not? Why not?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County, 72624.
That really is the shittiest intro ever.
I got back from a little mini vacation upstate New York, and it's just so nice up there, you know, away from this mayhem. These people, you know, these crowds. As I speak to people down here in Westchester County, which is so much fun, because this is probably one of the most liberal counties in the entire country, I would say. That maybe Santa Barbara. But, oh, okay, for example. All right, so I had a nurse the other day. She's in the car. They send them out with some of the patients sometimes. And she gets car sick. Which I don't...
Oh, so this guy's like a driver for like an old people home? Is that what it is? Okay, that makes sense. Given the car that he's driving, that makes a lot of sense. Why he's doing YouTube videos in it, I got no idea.
I can't really comprehend that, because if you can't, you know, handle being in a moving car, what the hell are you doing here anyway to begin with? And two, how do you deal with this 1,000-mile-per-hour spin that we have at the equator with the whole...
Okay, so there are two things here. And actually the second one makes you look like a bit of a dumbass. So first off, car sickness happens when you can see that you're moving, right? You can see out the windows and stuff that you're moving, but you don't feel like you're moving because you're going at a constant speed. And if you don't feel like you're moving and you look and that you see you're moving, that makes your brain do a little bit of a fucking what the hell is going on moment. And that's what car sickness is. And again, the reason why that happens is because the speed that you're moving at is constant. That's what happens. You only feel when you only feel like you're moving when there's acceleration or negative acceleration. That's what you feel. The Earth is spinning at a relatively constant speed. That's why you don't feel it.
Spinning wet ball going around and around and around. Do you feel that? So I turn over to her and I explain this to her, and she's like, you're just silly. Silly. That's what you...
Silly is a nice word. Let's go batshit fucking stupid.
You're silly. Because we were born into it, of course. We don't feel it.
Which is exactly right. From the moment that you are essentially just sperm and egg to where you are now, you have always experienced that movement. It's never changed. Well, it has changed, but at a negligible level. So you don't feel it.
We don't feel it. Go to a carnival ride. Okay? I bet you...
So, the carnival rides, so if you notice the boat one, that is a change in speed. You go to one side, then you fall, slow down, go to the other side. Like, that's a change in speed. If you're talking about the big spinning one where you get forced to a wall, that's because of centrifugal force. And yeah, we experience that on the Earth, but it's completely canceled out by gravity.
I feel that, the gravity, Carmel, you can't even pick up your arm. I think it's called the gravity. I think that's the name of it. It's this spinning thing and just, you try to...
Okay, yeah, the funny thing about that is that it has nothing to do with gravity. In fact, gravity is why we don't experience that on the Earth as we are now.
You stick to the wall, all of a sudden your arms, and you try to move your arm. Actually, I had fun with my daughter with that. She enjoyed it. Because while I was on it, I was trying to explain to everybody the G-force that supposedly the astronauts feel when they're...
Does this guy ever shut up about flat Earth? He's even telling it to everyone at the fucking... the fair. He's telling it to everyone at the fucking fair. Well, he takes his daughter out for a fucking good time. Like, what? Does this guy ever shut up about it?
Shuttling into space, 10 Gs on that gravity thing, you probably only have, I don't know, what, 4 maybe? And you can barely move.
4? 4? No. Nobody would be able to fucking actually do... Like, they would pass out. 4 Gs? You think 4 Gs in a civilian... Wow. So, the astronauts and fighter pilots, I don't know if you... Fighter pilots and astronauts, and there are other professions that are like this, but the people who do those things are trained to withstand the G-forces. It's not just, like, if some random dude were to experience those G-forces, they might actually be liable to die. Like, 10 Gs, person might actually die.
Your arm. Oh, they're doing all sorts of shit. That's right, they're moving pieces of paper while they're launching off at 10G, and look, it's amazing, isn't it? I guess they must be protected in the capsule. That's right.
I mean, there probably is some sort of protection in the capsule, but I'd say the reason why they're actually moving things around in the air is because when you're moving, I don't know enough about that to actually talk about that, so I'm not going to talk about it.
It's such bullshit. Pictures. NASA owns them all. All the pictures from space are from NASA. And I bet you're gonna tell me, yes, you fell for it. I know you did.
I mean, maybe. Pretty sure there are, like, outer space satellites that are owned by people other than NASA. I'm sure there are probably some photos that aren't from NASA.
A laser that goes to the moon and reflects off of a mirror back to Earth. And apparently they measure this on a consistent basis. The moon is moving an inch every year further away. So eventually it'll just disappear and get out of our gravitational pull. Probably in the next...
I'm sure they did the math on that, and it actually won't happen before the sun fucking explodes.
Billion years or so, right? Nah. Or a million, I don't know. Who cares? Just throw these numbers out there.
Probably not millions, it's probably billions. Maybe even trillions.
No, well, you see, NASA owns that too. Okay, because it's bullshit. They had to make something up. Put a scientist there, put him in one of these telescope.
The reason why they have so much stuff is because they get a shit ton of funding. They actually have the funding to do these massive, expensive projects.
Warehouses and just pay them money to do nothing. Sitting there.
Okay. Why would they pay people to do absolutely nothing? Why? Why would they do that? What is the motivation to fool everybody into thinking the Earth is a globe? What is the motivation?
Listening to classical music, eating pizza. That's all they do.
God, I could go for some pizza right now.
What do they do? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? But wait a minute. You said you could see a picture through the telescope that we have in supposedly outer space out there of the Apollo 11 moon landing. I see, because they left over objects. Well, you know what the funny thing is? I have a theory. Remember when you...
I mean, the fucking things, like, I don't know, man, you're asking a lot of questions, and at the end of the day, they don't really mean anything. You're not really finding a smoking gun here that shows that NASA is a fake organization trying to make it look like the Earth is a globe. We have other evidence other than the pictures that the Earth is a globe, man.
You saw the Apollo 11 capsule launch off, the moon with technology from 1969. Remember that. Technology from 1969. Okay? Perfectly panned, perfectly framed, and there goes the shuttle. No. You know what
I mean, what do you want to happen? They prepared a lot for that. Would be really shitty if they prepared so much for that and then it failed. I bet there's probably a lot of things that did go wrong because it was the first time. I bet there was. I bet that there probably would have been enough for there to actually be like a bloopers compilation if the footage was ever like released.
I think it is the reason why we haven't gone back to the moon is the cameraman had to stay back there. Okay, he's still there, as a matter of fact. I think he has 5 or 6 offsprings because he's been fucking the aliens. So they're afraid to go back because now you have a cross-contamination with a humanoid, and an alien. That's why we're not going back. They've turned it into a man.
What the fuck was that? See, these are the moments that I like in, like, debunking things. When the dude just says something completely just out there. What was that? Was that sarcasm? Did he actually...
Perfectly framed, and there goes I think he has... You know what I think it is? The reason why we haven't gone back to the moon is the cameraman had to stay...
Okay, that's him speculating. I don't think he actually believes that.
Okay,
but...
he's still there, as a matter of fact. I think he has 5 or 6 offspring.
Why does he go from speculating to, oh yeah, this is exactly what's happening?
Because he's been fucking the aliens. So they're afraid to go back because now you have a cross-contamination with a humanoid, and an alien. That's why we're not going back. They've turned it into a man.
Okay, so I've talked about this a lot. I'm not sure if I've talked about this in a video. The reason why they don't go back there is because there's no reason to. The only reason to go to the moon, the reason why they had it then was that because somebody made a big proclamation that they were going to go to the moon, whatever country. And then other countries were like, no, we're going to get there first. And at the end of the day, the real reason to go there was just to do some testing. It was just to test the stuff that's up there. And, like, we did all the testing we could. All the testing that we needed to do. So we haven't gone back up there because there's no reason to.
You know, I bet if NASA actually came out and said that, people would fucking believe it. Do you believe everything that NASA says to you? Do you believe that we have a supposedly a planet out there that looks like a donut? Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was probably from a satirical article. I'm gonna shift planet. Okay. So nobody is saying that it exists. They're saying that it's possible it exists. Like, mathematically possible. They're not saying, like, absolutely yes, that exists. They're saying it's mathematically possible.
They came out and said that. Do you believe there is a planet out there that is just all raining diamonds? Yeah, there you go.
That's really cool.
Just run around, you know. Maybe
it would have to happen on a planet that had a lot of carbon and a planet that has like a really strong gravity. But it's entirely possible.
make it rain. What was that book? Rainy with a cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Maybe it'll rain meatballs and turkeys.
That would be organic matter. Like actual living matter that is dead. I assure you, if there was a planet that rained gore, that it would make headlines. Because it means that it's possible for life to exist. It would mean that we know that life exists on a different planet. But unfortunately, we don't know that yet.
Oh man, it's so fun. It really is. It's so much fun when you have a Globie over here and you're trying to explain to them about Flat Earth. Okay? Because you were there once, I was there once. Alright, it didn't make any sense. You're not going to explain it to anybody. How many times do...
It's also impossible to explain how the globe Earth works to a flat earther. Because they just don't want to listen.
I have to tell people, debating is a waste of fucking time. They've got to figure it out themselves. They've got to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning, up all fucking night, and then all of a sudden, ding, 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 something's wrong here. We're not spinning. We're not feeling anything. Wait a minute. They're focusing in on galaxies and quasars that are a trillion millions of light years away, and meanwhile they can't pan over to a telescope and focus in on the...
I want to go up there just to say that I went up there and then come down and be like, guys, the shape of the Earth isn't a globe, it isn't flat, it isn't a disc, it's a fucking pentagram, guys! and just cause utter chaos because that's funny as shit.
The moon and look at the Apollo 11? Oh, because it wasn't made for that. Really? Because that's 268,000 miles away, supposedly. So you're telling me that telescope can't zoom in onto a little crater and show you the Apollo 11? It's too small. Go ahead. Think of it more fucking excuses of bullshit, of indoctrination, of nonsense that these people have learned. And they just keep...
Just because you don't understand scale does not mean it doesn't exist.
coming out with it all the time. They've got to figure it out for themselves. They've got to look. They've got to research. And thank you, Google, for making it totally impossible to find anything on Flat Earth. Thumbs up for that.
Oh, yeah, that's really annoying for me trying to debunk it, too. So if you guys could, like, send me Flat Earth videos, that would be greatly appreciated. Just tag me in Flat Earth videos, because I can see that shit. I can see what you guys tag me in.
That one, guys. Beautiful. 2015, everything was there. Everything was right at your fucking doorstep right there. You could look anything up, type in Flat Earth. They'll go into all sorts of other...
Ah, what a year when misinformation ran wild.
Doors, okay? You know, rabbit holes, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They've got to figure it out for themselves. Okay? Download the app, Dave's app, okay? FV Clock, okay? I know I don't have the name right, but I'll put the link on there, whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. You can't find anything else but there at this point. $2.99, I think, is what he charges for. Wow, that's a lot of money. Didn't you just spend 3 times that amount when you went to Starbucks and got your coffee latte or whatever?
I don't go to Starbucks. They're overpriced. I'm also not going to spend $3 to fund your loony gang.
Look, you have my permission. If you ever catch me in a...
I mean, I can buy a D&D Beyond subscription for, what, $2?
Starbucks, other than taking a piss, and you see me with a Starbucks coffee, you do have my permission, okay, to contact the authorities, because there must be something the matter with me. I must have just, like, went nuts. Oh, man. I mean, it's...
Man, now I want Dunkin'. Why are all these people mentioning food? God, I'm hungry. After this video, I'm gonna go get something to eat.
It's time and time again. I might be going... Well, you know what? I don't want to give out any exact... Oh, I hope you enjoyed the P1000. Yeah, that was a buoy that was all the way out there. I don't know how far away it is. It was pretty far because there was like 4 of them. It doesn't matter if it was a half a mile, it doesn't make a difference. You still shouldn't be able to see something like that, okay? And not only that, get the horizon in the back and get the boat coming toward the buoy, you know?
Scale.
What else do people need? Do they need to be lifted all the way? Well, you see, the thing is, we don't have an accurate picture of Earth because they can't get high enough. The dome's up there, okay? The dome's at a certain height, it seems like, that they can't get a perspective of exactly what we're on.
Okay. Riddle me this. Why don't you just go to the top part of the dome? Because the dome goes up and up and up. So why don't you go up the middle? For your model, that's the North Pole. Why don't you go to the North Pole and just fly upwards? And tell me, can you see everything? Because you should be able to see everything if you go there on your model.
Anyway. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos. Let me be a part of your life.
And I thank you for ending the video so I can go munch. Bye!